Good morning, Zio here, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you should go ahead and do that. As of yesterday, we hit a milestone on our YouTube side. Don't know already, we can be found at YouTube, BitChute, and on Twitter, and our YouTube channel has just finally hit our first milestone, 100. I think it's Garth Benjamin was our 100th subscriber as of yesterday. Means we now have a custom URL and we have a new goal to set, which is 1,000 subscribers. So that is our new goal. Beyond that, I think we're going to then shoot for 50,000, as unlikely as that might be. And we can plan something special, I guess, for those moments. But until then, let's get into it. So what's on the docket today? Honestly, I had no idea. No, but seriously, I wanted to talk about something, completely forgot what it was, and then was sitting there at like 5 in the morning on what was it that I was going to talk about today, and then it slapped me in the face. Horizon Zero Dawn. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about for a second. But we talked about this a while back, and the only reason I wanted to talk about it now is because I noticed people were watching that for some reason, and I'm sitting here thinking, that is so old. What exactly has changed? So I wanted to go see what actually had changed. This is what changed. Apparently it is now 100% confirmed that it is going to happen. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition is coming to the PC. And the freakouts have gotten worse and are more intense than I remember them being when they announced that it was coming to the PC the first time and thought it was confirmed, but apparently I guess it wasn't confirmed, or it just suddenly wound up making it back into the news cycle that it's 100% confirmed again, something like that. I'm not 100% sure what all is going on, other than it's happening. So, and I don't have a problem with it. Now, I've got a problem with the people doing the freakouts, because the last time I truly saw freakouts like that, I think they were World of Warcraft related. I mean, I don't normally go looking for things like that, so it probably happened a lot. But the last one I think I can really remember seeing was a World of Warcraft related freakout due to raiding or being grounded or something like that. Not sure. But just seeing some of these videos, especially the one where we're just going to take a look, where this kid completely demolishes his setup, and for what exactly? Because people want to play Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC? Are you kidding me? More people who have access to the game, the better. I get this whole exclusivity thing. Oh, we're also going to talk about one of the ex-developers sort of going off on these people, which... kudos, dude. I mean, on one hand, it's unprofessional to do that sort of thing. On the other hand, somebody needs to do it because, wow. So I got it. I understand. I definitely can see both sides of this argument about people. He shouldn't be doing that. That's so unprofessional. And like, yeah, it is. But at the same time, these people are throwing fits like they're 5. Somebody needs to tell them it's going to be okay in a nice, harsh way. But now, the more people who have access to the game, the better. I'm not talking about like changing its difficulty so people can then breeze through it to experience the story or whatever. Not that argument, no. I'm talking about having the ability to actually get a hold of it. When you have things that are exclusive, that cuts out a large chunk of people. And, exclusives mainly are about getting people to come to a particular console. I mean, just using myself as an example real quick, I would probably never actually own a Nintendo console if it wasn't for the fact that Nintendo games only come on that console. Fact. I can find the fun in things like the Wii motion control and the game pads and things like that. However, I really hate it in other games, like the new Star Fox game that was for Wii U. Would have loved that a lot more if I wasn't forced to use the gamepad with it. Sorry, I hate it. That is the biggest crux to that entire game that drove me nuts, was the gamepad, and as a result, I can't play it. I mean, I can play it, I just hate it, which is sad because it should have been a game I really liked. But you know, there are other games that I did buy the console for, you know, like Star Fox. I hate Super Smash Brothers, the Zelda series. You know, those are the reasons why I bought something like a Wii U or the Switch or something like that. And now my Pokemon games are, of course, are on the Switch, and Smash Brothers is on the Switch. Mario Kart's on the Switch, which means I'm gonna have to eventually get a Switch at some point, even though it's how many years old and I still haven't gotten one. But you know, that's what attracts people to a console, right? PlayStation has Horizon Zero Dawn, and other games that I quite frankly can't really remember at the moment, but I'm pretty sure PlayStation has way more exclusives to them than the Xbox at this point in time. While the Xbox, you know, had exclusives like was Gears of War an exclusive? I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't. I'm probably thinking Halo until it became a PC thing. But when it comes to PC and Microsoft, it seems to be one of those more of, it's an inevitability kind of thing, because Xbox is owned by Microsoft. Microsoft also kind of owns these operating systems that I'm using, you know, these things. You know, Microsoft owns Word and everything else that you typically use and stuff. So it's kind of inevitable that their video game system, like the Xbox games, would eventually get ported over to their PC side, and you have a Microsoft store and stuff like that. So, you know, it's more unlikely to see something from PlayStation marry over into, say, the Microsoft store, or maybe, you know, without it going somewhere else. You know, I'd go to Steam or GOG or Epic, something like that, before it does anything else. But it would be more unlikely to see a PlayStation game actually go to PC in general. You know, especially if it's an exclusive. But of course, that all depends on the developer, what deals were signed, contracts that were signed, and other things. You know, it could have been one of those things that, hey, you know, we've made this game specifically for the console. However, we would like to port it over to other things, and Sony's like, yeah, sure, that's fine, you can do it in 3 years. Boom. And they sign a contract, and there you go. So the whole point to all this spiel, of course, is having the game more widely available on more things is a good thing, right? You know, I'm not getting into the argument of changing a game's difficulty or something so somebody else can play it easier. And that's a whole different argument that I have made in several videos in the past. So go find those if you want to go and you know, make that argument. And if I haven't made the argument sufficient enough, you can come back and say, hey, do me a favor and actually talk about this specifically, so we can have a conversation. Then I'll do that. Okay, you know, we can have that conversation, because I don't think I've really done just, you know, talked about that specifically, of course. However, when it comes to porting a game to other things, of course, as long as the game's not broken on its port, which happens too a lot, you know. But so here we go. We're this is what I really wanted to get into, but you've got this, whoever this is. Great way to spend my birthday. Thanks for effing nothing, PlayStation Gorilla. And oh man, decades thrown away, and that was all for nothing. It's like, really, dude? Really? This is what we're doing? And you know what? I need to balance that. But yeah, is all this really necessary, that we've destroyed stuff? And this is not the only video like this either. You know, there's other videos where people are trashing their game and trashing their system and getting all upset and butthurt over it. And it's like, why? What? Listen, let's talk about the console wars for a split second. I understand they were a thing, right? I was there on one side or the other at any given time. I fought in the console wars. And I hate to break it to you guys, but all your consoles suck compared to my PC. Just gonna throw it out there. PC Master Race for the win. But you know, all joking aside, no, seriously, the console wars are kind of ridiculous now. You know, that was one of the big reasons for exclusivities. You know, was like God of War is only a PlayStation thing. You can only get it on PlayStation, which means you have to buy a PlayStation if you were big on God of War. You still have to do that, of course. You know, that hasn't changed. However, you know, is it really worth it at this point in time? Especially with a lot of things going into the PC, other things going multi-platform. Although it's a good thing I've got a PlayStation 4 because I need Final Fantasy VII's remake. I can't get that anywhere else. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is there's no point to fight, right? So more people have access to your thing. Whoop-dee. All it does is bring a resurgence of new fans, new people to, you know, a 3-year-old game at this point. And, you know, more people are happier, and then they may go, oh, you know what? We underestimated this property. Maybe we should do something more with it. Because right now, I'm not 100% sure, but somebody can correct me. There work for Horizon Zero Dawn 2 out there? Are they working on that? The only thing I really remember fresh off the top of my head is a crossover event with Horizon Zero Dawn and Monster Hunter World that happened a few years ago. Or a year or so ago. Something like that, where you could get the skin and, you know, get your Palico a skin and a weapon, and that was practically it. There's not been anything talk-wise about Horizon Zero Dawn. Other than that, but let's take a look at this, because we're like 12 minutes in. I've ranted and, you know, gone on quite a bit apparently about this, and I apologize. This is what we really wanted to talk about, right? We've gotten so off track. It's a morning. Anyway, I've got to go to work here in a few, so I'll set this up and walk away, and we'll be up at some point today. But yeah, we've got Sam Shamoon, something like that. Anyway, dude is an ex-Guerrilla producer, executive, something like that. Can't really remember. He worked on the game, right? He worked for Ubisoft, he worked for Guerrilla, he worked on Horizon Zero Dawn and a few other games. Then he went off on Twitter. You know, like I said, you know, he's a game producer. Gosh, what was it? I think Killzone was one of the things, and of course he's got him in the profile because blue check mark, and you know how that works. We got to have our things. You know, if anyone was curious, mine's Zeo of Borg. If you don't refer to me as Borg, you're somehow phobic. Anyway, but he went off. What the hell is wrong with you people? We made a game, you enjoyed it. Now, some more people get to enjoy it, and somehow that takes away your enjoyment. Please be kind to yourselves. Your enjoyment of the game has not diminished because some more people get to play it. That's one way of putting it. I mean, I've spent like 12 minutes or so explaining all that at this point in time. But yeah, I should have led with these. Not gonna lie. That twit long is way longer than I thought it was. But this will be linked in the description down below, of course, to take a look. But you know, he talks about like exclusives and things like exclusives serve a need for attracting players to consoles, driving engagement with consoles. We talked about all this earlier already. Anyway, drive engagement with consoles itself that is more predictable. No platform owner wants players to buy a console and then spend all their time on Facebook, and attracting a niche of players undeserving by third party. Uh, there are tactics publishers employ for business and strategy reasons. The developers are happy to make a game in a relatively safe environment and take advantage of the deep marketing channels the platform already has. However, the aim is never to necessarily antagonize anyone, which brings us to the games not being exclusive after a while. It's not trivial to port a game to a different platform. Even if the architecture is similar Xbox versus PC, the submission guidelines, controllers, and menu integration testing for various cards and CPUs, etc., cost a lot, which of course is true. I mean, it's not like you can just rip it up and throw it onto a PC and go, here we go, because we've seen it where ports have gone horrible, where we've got the port and it's like, this is not working at all. Happens a lot. It does take some time to get that thing going. This isn't like using your ROM of Mega Man X2 or something like that. It's a different ball game for more modern games. All this work and costs are incurred so many people can enjoy the game. If you already bought it, obviously you've played it and enjoyed it. The assumption is the transaction was fair. If you bought a console and a game, you now have a console and a game. We make games because we generally want to delight and entertain people. Any chance developers get to do that with a new audience, they will take, but there's more. If you're angry and you're thinking this is a betrayal because a game will now be played by more players and you're being unkind to yourself, you're letting yourself think that you have exclusivity over a game somehow defines your self-worth. You're wrong. You're worthy. I am capable of a lot of lovely things. Okay. Anyway, games are entertainment and art we make for you. You're not defined by them. Love them, but don't let them be your sense of self. You're worth a lot. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to developers. We don't need threats from you to feel stressed. We already have so many stressors to deal with. To a player, we love you and appreciate your support and passion. Let us make games for you, where you play, and for those who play elsewhere. And, you know, that's right. I really got nothing else on it. He goes quite a bit here. There's a whole thing if you want to take a look. It's down in the description below, but people, why? Anyway, Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to the PC. It's great. If you hadn't played the game, it's a fantastic game. Definitely a work of art right there. Guerrilla outdid themselves with that game, considering they were known for like Killzone, wasn't it? You know, they went from that to this particular game, and they did a fantastic job with doing that. Unlike some other companies out there who then want to try and let's see, what was the word again? Compare themselves to Guerrilla and Horizon Zero Dawn. Who would do such a thing? Like, really? That stuff. Anyway, sorry, I might have the virus. Anyway, got a little cough for some reason. Something stuck in my throat. We're gonna end it right there. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.